What is up, everybody? Ben here from the Wombo Combo Show.
And Ben here for the Wombo Combo Show.
Two Bens today. I don't know why I keep doing the intro like that. This is the Wombo Combo Show, and I'm Ben, and this is Ben. We're without Lou today. He's at a Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving party.
It's something. I don't remember what it was.
Whatever.
I don't know. Whatever.
Not our problem. Anyways, guys, we're going to hop in first to recap here that Thursday night football game. Pretty good one. I'm not going to lie. In certain points of the game for the first half, I was kind of sleepy. I don't know about you, Ben, but the game didn't start off very electric.
No, it was boring. It was pretty boring in the first half.
Yeah, for sure. It did kick up in the second half. Let's take a look at some stats here. There was some major players on the Eagles side of the football. For the Commanders, kind of a slow day. A lot of people were asking us, hey, why is Terry McLaurin not in your top 10 list of the week? Well, this is why. He had one catch.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't in my top 10.
He was going to get locked down. We kind of figured as much. He had one catch for 10 yards. Number one wide receiver in this game was Austin Eckler, who had a pretty great game out of the backfield when it comes to receiving. He only had 2 rushes for 7 yards, but he did have 8 catches for 89 PPR. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
He saved his day through the air.
Sure.
Zach Ertz had that touchdown at the end. Did you see that one?
Yeah, a little late garbage time touchdown.
He got the garbage time touchdown there. I got it out of my mouth there. That was hard. But the thing that I wanted to highlight was, did you see his 2-point conversion?
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was cool.
That was cool. Maybe that's something we'll pull up as a clip for people to look at later. But I don't know. It was pretty acrobatic in the way that he did that. Brian Robinson, first game back, guys. He had 16 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Decent game for him. Not the best, though, averaging just under 4 yards a carry. We'll see better production out of him in the next coming weeks. Jaden Daniels, a slower day. Kind of, maybe not expected it, but, you're not surprised by it.
Yeah, no,
Rivalry divisional game.
Philly's got a good defense.
Exactly. Everyone has been saying that Jaden Daniels is doing so good, but the Commanders are playing crappy teams. What do you say to that? Do you think that's valid?
I think some of it is valid. Some of it is.
Yes. But not completely, but yes.
No, look, the last 2 weeks he played the Steelers and the Eagles. Both the Steelers have a top 5 defense. Eagles, I would think, have a top 10 defense.
I would somewhere in that, especially in the pass game. Their
Maybe
duo's doing pretty good. We'll have to look that one up to verify. But I would consider them in the upper echelon of defenses. I wouldn't put them in the bottom tiers of defenses in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no.
They got names everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. But Jaden Daniels did slow down against those two teams. He is a rookie, and, he's got one wide receiver with a name. So you can't really blame him too much.
He's only one.
He's got
one proven guy.
Olamide Zacchaeus has a cool name, but he's not really good.
No, he's not that good.
On the Eagles side of things, guys, Jalen Hurts didn't throw for a touchdown, but also didn't throw for an interception. He was 18 of 28, 221 yards. On the ground, he also had 10 rushes for a touchdown and 39 yards. That's what made his day pretty well. I played him. He underperformed projection.
Yeah.
So, not terrible.
He didn't throw for any touchdowns.
He didn't throw for any touchdowns, but this is why he didn't throw for any touchdowns, because Saquon Barkley, 26 carries, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man's a G.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see him break out for those touchdowns?
Yeah.
Each one of them was it was him. They got offensive lineman back this week, which did make things better for them, but, dude, it's him.
Yeah, no. Saquon Barkley, he's got a solid argument for the best running back in the league this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's an argument for MVP. Do you? I'm not saying this in the effect that he's doing better than Lamar. Lamar is clearly running away with it.
Yeah.
But he should be in the top 5 list. Should he not?
I agree. Yeah. Him and Derrick Henry.
If you go to our Facebook page, you'll see the list that was produced by FanDuel for who they believe are the top 10.
Yeah, I saw it.
Saquon Barkley is not on that list. Pretty wild, in my opinion.
I think he should.
Yeah, I think he should too. To wrap up the stats on this game here, guys, A.J. Brown, 5 catches, 65 yards. Not great, not terrible. If you're playing him, you're not necessarily happy that he underperformed, but he had 11.5 points. It's not the worst. Also, Dallas Goedert, He had 5 catches for 61 yards. And then I didn't mention Saquon in the pass game. He had 2 catches for 52 as well. He balled out.
Yeah.
I played him, and at one point in time, he had 13. And I was okay, Saquon, you're doing all right, but
Yeah.
I could use a little bit more, please.
Yeah.
And then he blew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He ended with like 33 or something like that in PPR, so I was super happy.
He got like 20 some points fantasy wise in like the last quarter.
10 minutes of the game.
In the last quarter. Yeah. That was wild.
Pretty dope. Let's start taking a look at the games for this week. No early morning games, nothing in Germany, nothing in London, but we do have a game starting at 1 o'clock in Miami. This is going to be the Vegas Raiders taking on Miami. This game, I don't know. I'm taking this is probably going to be a closer game than what you would expect just because of the two teams. What do you think, man?
I mean, the Raiders are bad.
The
Raiders they're bad. Like they're 2-7 bad. The Miami Dolphins
they're
3-6. They're 3-6, but they're not 3-6 bad.
Yeah, and they just got Tua back.
Yeah, they just got Tua back. So like I mean,
who do you think wins this game?
Miami wins this game.
You think Miami wins this game?
Yes, Miami wins this game.
Okay. I think I will run with you that Miami. Well, you know what? If there was any team that would knock Miami out of the playoffs, it would be the Raiders.
No.
Yeah.
No,
dude, they beat the Ravens.
Yeah, they
They beat the
but
Ravens.
No, dude. No, man. I think they don't have a quarterback.
You're right. They're
Raiders.
starting Gardner Minshew
They're
tomorrow.
starting Gardner Minshew. He's not good. The only bright spot they have is Brock Bowers.
Yes.
On the offensive
Tight
side
end
of the
one in
ball.
fantasy football
And
outside of Kittle, yes.
Their defense is good. I mean, Robert Splains had a good year at linebacker, but and Max Crosby, the end,
You might have
rushing
won
the
me.
passer, but
You might have won me over.
what else do they have? I don't think they have anything.
Nothing. Both their running backs are mediocre. Alexander Madison,
Yeah, Madison.
and Zamir White.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Yeah.
So
you're right. You win this one.
Yeah, I think Miami wins this game by 2 scores.
Okay.
2 touchdowns.
All right, I will run with you on Miami based on the your speech there. It was a valid
Yeah.
speech. I will give it to you. You brought up some points. In this game, when we're looking for fantasy players, guys, on the Raiders side of the football, very, very slim. I would say Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers. That's it. Would you play Madison if you had to, bye weeks?
No, I'd play someone else.
I would try to find someone
I don't
else.
think Madison's honestly worth a roster spot.
He's losing.
But I mean, he is because
He's
he's
technically
the
the
main
starting
guy
running back.
there. He's
Yeah.
the main guy there, and he is a decent running back, but not one that you want to be like, oh yeah.
You're not
let me-
highlighting
Let me
him.
play him in fantasy every week.
Yeah, no. He's
absolutely
definitely not a plug and play flex player.
Yeah, I mean,
By any means.
No.
Now, Jacoby Myers, he is a wide receiver 3 in my mind. He doesn't make his way all the way up into wide receiver 2
oh
range.
yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah,
but still, he doesn't move the needle for me at all.
He doesn't move the needle for me either. He's filling in for me, guys. We in our league, we do 3 wide receivers. I have Olave out, so we're using Jacoby Myers in the intermittent time while Olave's out. So that kind of gives you an idea where I think that Jacoby Myers fits into the scheme of things. On Miami's side of the football, though, with Tua back, there's a lot to look at. I think that obviously Achane is a play. I think that Tyreek Hill, regardless of his wrist problem,
He's good to go.
yeah, he's put double-digit points, fantasy points up every week since Tua has been back, so he's going to be a play. Waddle's a fringe play. I would consider him maybe a flex, and then Jonnu Smith is a fringe tight end filler spot for you as well. Do you think I missed anybody else? I don't like Raheem Mostert in this game. I know if Lou was here, he would be screaming his name, but he did terrible last week.
I agree with everything you said.
yeah,
I think Jonnu Smith is more like tight end 2 range.
You think he's a tight end 2
Yeah.
range instead of just a flyer?
Yeah.
You think he's set in stone for 2?
Yeah, I think he's tight end 2
I could buy
range.
on that. I could buy on that. Yeah, guys, with Raheem Mostert not getting a single carry last week, I'm done with him. Next game we're going to cover, this is a game between 2 pretty bad teams as well. This is the Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints. This game is in New Orleans. I'm probably leaning towards the Saints. I think so. Do you think Winston goes against his old team and balls out?
I mean, he could, but then again, he could also not.
Yeah, very easily.
So,
not.
I mean,
I like Winston as a person. I think he's a great character. One day when he's on ESPN or something as an analyst, I'm gonna be like, dude, this is great. I'm watching everything Jameis Winston produces.
Yeah, for sure.
But
as far as playing quarterback goes,
50-50,
it's
dude.
yeah,
Who you taking?
I'm taking the Saints.
You taking the
Just
Saints as
I
well?
don't. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it'd
we
be
gotta be
nice to
honest.
see the Browns kind of
Get it
back,
together, but
get it together a little bit because like they don't have a shot at the division now.
no.
Like, I mean, they could go on a run and get that last wild card spot, but
It would
I
have to
don't.
be the most fantastic football
Yeah,
story ever for that to
no, but
happen.
that's not happening.
Nick
either,
Chubb would have to
so.
fully come alive out of nowhere.
Yeah, I just with Jameis Winston, they're not.
Mm-mm.
They're not going to go anywhere. So I think they lose this game. Saints win. But it's this might be an entertaining one too.
I think
So.
I was just gonna say that, and I'm glad that you said that. I think this game is gonna be very, very entertaining. As
Yeah.
much as it's like a battle of some losers, this game is gonna be wild. When we're looking for fantasy players here, I think Nick Chubb is a play, guys. I know he's off to a slow start, but I mean he's just gonna kick off more rust and more rust as weeks go on. I think he's a play this week. Wide receivers for the Browns, it's pretty slim. I would say that you could probably play Tillman. The other wide receivers aren't bad options. Moore isn't a terrible option. Neither is Judy, but they're just not great options. Like Ben was saying, Jameis Winston could do amazing. He could also do terrible, and those guys really depend on the 50-50 play of Jameis Winston.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Big time.
the Joku is probably the biggest plug and play off of this offense that I would consider.
He's fringe tight end 1.
Yeah, he's fringe tight end 1 for sure. Would say Nick Chubb and Tillman are the other guys that I would be comfortable with putting into my lineup for this week. Tillman being a wide receiver 3 flex.
Yeah. Winston likes to go to Njoku a lot. So.
He does like to dump down the Njoku, and you know who Winston is. He likes to throw deep balls, and that's who Tillman is.
Yep.
He was that at Tennessee, and he still is that at the Cleveland Browns. Career is starting to develop there. For the Saints, I mean, we're pretty slim here. Like there isn't much to look at outside of Alvin Kamara. MVS maybe, like he is a streamer.
I don't trust him.
I don't trust him either. He had 2 touchdowns last week though, and like 80 yards.
I mean, yeah, he had like 4 catches for 9. I think he hit 100.
Yeah, 80 or maybe it was 100. I'm not. I
think he hit 100.
Maybe I can pull it up here. Yeah, right here. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Last week, MVS, he had 109 yards,
Yeah.
3 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, like, I don't think he repeats that week over week. Do I think he's worth a roster add because Olave is out? Because Shaheed, that one was hard for me to get out there. Shaheed, since he's out, I think that MVS is worth a roster spot. I think that this week, with the bye weeks that are at hand, I think that you should have somebody better to play, but definitely somebody to be keeping on your bench to see how it develops. If he does good again this week, guys, gets like 8 targets, 5 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown, then we start talking about
I still think there's people out there on waiver wires that are better than
for sure. I would put him at the level of like
MVS.
Alex Pierce. That's what I think MVS is. He's going to be an Alex Pierce.
Yeah, and like
he'll do really good, and then he'll do nothing for like 3 games, and then really good again. We're both taking the Saints in this game, guys. Like we said, pretty sure. What about Saints defense? Would you play Saints defense against the Browns? That's an interesting one. I wouldn't be scared of it. They got rid of Lattimore, but they still got weapons. They can get a lot of sacks in this game. Paulson Adebo's out, I understand.
Maybe. I don't know. Not really.
Not really?
No.
You think they're in the lower end?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
I would honestly, if I had I would play the Browns defense before.
Browns
I would play
defense? Okay.
Saints defense.
Okay.
But
All right. Well,
I don't think they're very good either.
yeah, I think that there's probably better options out there. Dude, man, these games just don't get better as we talk
these
about them
early
for 1 o'clock.
These early 1 o'clock games.
These are
ain't
barn
that
burners.
good until we get to the last one.
The next game we're going to talk about, guys, the next game we're going to talk about is the Jets. They're going to be hosting the Colts in the Meadowlands. Anthony Richardson's the quarterback again. This immediately means people like Josh Downs and Adonai Mitchell and anybody who catches the football for the Colts immediately.
Yeah. I'm taking the
Straight.
Colts, though.
You're
'cause,
taking the Colts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm tired of taking the Jets and looking like an idiot. So I'm taking the Colts. And I'm
Okay.
probably going to look like an idiot again.
All right. Because you took the Colts, because last week I took the Cardinals and they crushed the Jets, I will take the Jets in this game.
Okay.
Just to be the opposite of you, I think that they have it's Kenny Moore, who is the really good cornerback. He's probably the best player on their defense when it comes to coverage. I don't mean they have great linebackers, Samir Franklin, all those guys. But
For Indy, we're talking about
For
Indy.
Indy, yes, sir. When you're looking at the wide receiver lineups, I think Garrett Wilson gets a premier matchup this week. I think that Garrett Wilson is going to go off in this game.
Yeah,
He had a slow game last week.
he did.
They threw the ball to Adams like 2 billion times to
Yeah.
try to get them on.
Which is probably going to be the same going forward. But
It might be, but at the same time, the production that Adams got out of the 10 million targets was crap.
oh yeah,
So
it was
it was not good.
it was not good.
I'm thinking that because of that, they do shift more back Garrett Wilson's way. Some of those targets that have been going to getting Aaron Rodgers and Devontae
Yeah.
on the same track. Okay, well, we did that now. Now
Yeah.
we're going back. So,
Okay. I mean, I can see it, but like, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not picking the Jets.
I know you're
I'm
not. I
picking
know
the
you're not
Jets.
picking the Jets.
I'm
They
not
left
picking
a
the
sour
Jets
taste in your
for
mouth
the rest of the
sure.
year. Probably not going to pick the Jets.
It would be best. It would be best if you were right on every Jets bet for the Jets that they lose out and go get a quarterback and just get rid of Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers.
So I mean, he said he wants to play next year, but like, dude, like,
No, Aaron, hang it up, bro. Go do ayahuasca, live in the desert, and I don't know, do that other weird stuff you do. When it comes to fantasy football, guys, I think that JT gets a high plug and play this week. I don't think the Jets defense are stopping him at all. Especially with Anthony Richardson at a quarterback, I think we shift back to more of a power run offense. So I would plug him. I think that Josh Downs gets a downgrade, like we said, with the quarterback change. So I'm not necessarily loving him this week. Wide receiver 3 ranking for him. On the other side of the football, Jets, Brees Hall, you have to play. You draft him in the top 5 of your fantasy draft. He's still doing okay. He's not consistent. I say you have to play him in this situation. And Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams, I would consider them both plays as well as Devontae wide receiver 2, Williams wide receiver 1. Outside of that, though, I'm not playing Aaron Rodgers. I'm not playing Tyler Conklin. I'm not playing Braylon Allen. None of those guys who've been flyers throughout the year. Sticking to the basics in this game. He's going Colts. I'm going Jets. Next game, does it get better? Does it get better? Maybe.
maybe. I mean,
So this is I actually I didn't even tell you about this. I went on as a guest on someone's show last night for like 5 seconds.
really?
Yeah, I gave them my picks for the week.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like literally 10 seconds. It was fun. It
Okay.
was a fun time.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Vikings fan who I went into his live last night. Yeah, Flock Vikings. That's who it was. Thank you, producer Paul. So in this game, I was talking about this is the Vikings. They will be heading to Nashville to take on the Titans, guys. I think that this game here, just like last week, is way closer than it is supposed to. The Vikings played the Jags last week and almost lost against Mac Jones Jags.
Yeah, no, I think the Vikings might be the biggest frauds
They could be. They
at
could
7-2.
They could be. And
You know?
So what I think is the problem is, are we starting to see that Sam Darnold actually isn't good and he was just getting lucky for a couple weeks? Is that what's going on?
I think so.
I think that might be what's going on too. Now he does have a bunch of superstars all around him.
Yeah.
So
which he didn't have, with the Jets
And he
or
did-
in
but
Carolina.
he didn't even have him to start the season. Like he didn't have Hawk to start the season. Now he has Hawk and he's doing worse. What?
I
How
don't
does
know.
that make sense?
I don't know. I don't know.
In this game, guys, I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to take the Vikings. I am. I'm taking the Vikings. Are you? Are you going to take the Titans? Will Levis? Mayonnaise? Coffee?
I mean, yes, I am.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Well, Lou may not be here, but we still got hot takes. So in this game, let me cover the Vikings, and then you tell me on the Titans who would be a play that for fantasy and why you think that and why that player is going to beat the Vikings this week.
Okay.
So I think Sam Darnold is a fringe starter for you this week. He's starting to get out of that play into quarterback 2, less quarterback 1. Last couple of weeks hasn't been really productive. JJ is obviously a starter. I don't think Addison is a starter this week in this game. You could throw him in if you have bye weeks. I consider him a wide receiver 4. Fringe flex. That's where I'm playing Addison at. I don't think he's a top level fantasy wide receiver. He is great. He has boom weeks. He has a lot of bust weeks. Then I have Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones will be fine with that rib injury, guys. He was carted off last week, did come back, didn't do great when he came back. I think he'll be just fine. Cam Akers could eat into his play this week. I don't think he does. And then Hawkinson. He's obviously tight end one. Been back, 2-3 weeks? And each week he just keeps getting better and better and more targets and more targets.
Yep.
He's healthy. He's good to go. Ben, who you got?
So, I mean, quarterback, I'm not playing Will Levis. I'm not playing Will Levis. I think Calvin Ridley, though,
Could be. He's
can
not.
have himself a day again. He's been good he's been booming the last couple weeks. He's been booming.
Yeah, he has.
So I think he's a good play. I would play Tony Pollard,
Okay.
RB2.
Yeah, I think Tony Pollard. What do you think about Spears?
No, I don't think. No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, 'cause
Outside of that.
Pollard is he's like the main guy there, right?
He is, but when we look at last week, he was outperformed by Spears in the game. So
Oh, well, they were playing the Chargers.
They were-
Chargers have a really good defense.
well, so do the Vikings.
Is it, though?
In fantasy football, they're the best defense.
Yeah,
but does
that's-
that portray into
that's
real life?
not-
Maybe
that
not
doesn't
as much.
include
I know.
what teams have been doing to the Vikings of late.
I know. That is very true.
Not that the Jaguars went off on the Vikings in any way, shape, or form.
No, but they held them.
Yeah.
I would say Spears is at least somebody that if he's in your free agency, guys, in a 12-man league, you got to go and pick him up. He could be out there still. He is in a lot of leagues. I looked before a show, 36%. I tried to trade Will Levis for him yesterday, and the dude said no in 2 quarterback league. I was like, you don't have another quarterback, and this is a backup running back. Guys, I forgot. I personally have Vikings defense as my flyer defense pretty much throughout the entire year. I haven't moved them out except for their bye week, and they've been great. You're saying Pollard. You're saying Ridley. That's about it for Titans.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Westbrook Nakine or whatever his name is. No.
I just think the Titans win this game. I think Sam Darnold makes too many mistakes.
I could see it being 10-9 at the end of this game. Titans win. I agree with you that it could happen. I just can't because it's 7-2 versus 2-7. I'm gonna take the expected winner in the Vikings in this one. Next game here. First divisional matchup. First game that actually sounds like it could be a decent game that we're going to get to talk about. This is the Bears hosting the Packers in an NFC rivalry game. Packers, as of, the last long time, have had the Bears number. Do you think Caleb Williams has a chance in this game? Do you think the firing of that offensive coordinator is going to help their offense? No. So here's the thing. I read a report about this either last night or the night before. The guy who is replacing their fired offensive coordinator is the guy who was the offensive play caller for Bryce Young last year.
Yeah, no.
What are you doing?
No.
Like, why did you pick that guy?
The Packers are going to roll in this one.
Yeah, I think the Packers roll in this one too, guys. I think the only viable player on the Chicago Bears team to play this week that I would trust and say, okay, I'm cool with him is Swift.
Yeah, that's the only one.
DJ Moore, I only if you have to. He's a wide receiver 3-4. Keenan Allen, only if you have to. He's a wide receiver 4-5. Roma Dunze, 4-5 wide receiver.
Yeah.
On the Green Bay side of things, a lot more going on. I would consider Jordan Love QB1 this week against the Bears defense. I would consider Josh Jacobs running back 2 this week. Jaden Reed, I would consider him a wide receiver 2. I would also consider Romeo Dubes a wide receiver 3. Christian Watson, the guy that you always predict the right answer on.
Flex wide receiver 3.
He's a flex this week. He's going to do like 8-9 points, you think, in half PPR?
Yeah.
Maybe 11 PPR? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Tyler Kraft, probably an okay play this week. I will say, though, I actually have been doing a little research on if I should play Tyler Kraft or not this week because, I don't know, I'm trying to lock in my playoff spot. The Bears are the best team against tight ends this year. Really? So, yeah, something to take in mind when you're if you're a Tyler Kraft owner. Chance he might have a dud day being covered by those linebackers. They do have good pass linebackers. But we're both taking the Packers, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. No. Let's see here. Next game we're going to talk about. This one should also be a barn burner. Man, NFL, you did a horrible job lining matchups this week. There's like 4 really good games and then all the other ones are like,
Meh.
bro. So this one is the Detroit Lions. They'll be hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Almost pulled off a victory last week against an NFC North team. Weren't able to.
They ain't doing anything like that this week.
Nope, they aren't.
Lions are going to roll over this Jaguars team.
I think so too. Wouldn't it be amazing if that didn't happen? That would be the upset of the year. But I think the Jaguars are going to get creamed in this game, guys. It looks like Trevor Lawrence probably not going to play the rest of the season. Just seems that way. Reports look like he might get surgery. I would just go ahead and find another quarterback if you haven't already in your fantasy for your backup even. I know you're playing your backup. Go get another one too. Russell Wilson's probably out there. I'd pick him up.
Yeah.
Decent. For the Jags, there is, let me see here. There's no Bigsby this week, so we're going.
No, he's out.
ETN's the plug and play running back for them. I would put him as at flex running back only. He's been doing terrible. 4 points the last 2 weeks, but he was fighting for carries. Other than that, BTJ, I don't love him in this game. Lions cornerbacks.
I don't love any receiver for.
The only person
Jacksonville.
I would say would be okay plays on the Jag side of the football is Evan Ingram and ETN. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
And that's like if you have to.
If you
situation.
yes, and then I have bye weeks, so I literally have to play ETN. That's why I'm playing him. I wouldn't otherwise. I have Audric Estime. I like him even better than I like
Yeah.
ETN.
So
this week.
I have to play Evan Ingram this week. So
Mhm. Well, here's the thing. With Evan Ingram, Mac Jones, if he gets pressured a lot, he's just going to dump the ball down, and it's going to go to Evan Ingram or ETN. So that's why I think those
yeah,
are both.
that they're the only ones who have any value going into this week.
Yeah, I would.
And from now on, really.
Yeah, if you guys, if your trade deadline hasn't hit yet, maybe consider trading BTJ. You could probably get a decent amount from someone who's not aware that Trevor Lawrence is killing for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
On the Detroit side of the football, pretty easy. It's going to be Gibbs. It's going to be Monty. It's going to be St. Brown. Laporta is out this week. He will not be playing. That'll probably be an uptick for people like Khalif Raymond and stuff like that. Unless you're in a really deep league, I don't suggest playing any of them. JMO, play? Yay? Nay?
I mean,
Fringe flex.
yeah, fringe flex, desperate flex play.
Yeah, he's a desperate flex play. I would probably put him wide receiver 4 or 5 with Keenan Allen and Roma Dunze down there. Higher chance of doing better than they do, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty good high.
because he could get 3 catches, 90 yards, and,
And
two touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, so.
But yeah, we both think the Lions roll in this game. This one should be pretty easy. I would stray away from Jared Goff as a fantasy quarterback. Doesn't really put up numbers because they just run the ball so
it would
much.
just be Monty, Gibbs, Amon-Ra.
Yep, that's who I would stay with too. JMO if you have to. Next game, and I believe this is the last 1 o'clock game. No,
it's
there's
not.
there's one more
We
great
haven't
1
gotten to
o'clock
one.
game.
We haven't gotten to one.
I
My
wasn't sure
goodness.
what time we played.
It was 1 o'clock.
Oh, right.
It
Well,
never
Oh,
changed.
yeah, I knew this. I knew this. All right. Well, anyways, guys, this game here, it's the Rams. They're going to be heading up to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. And in this game,
And they're going coast to coast.
yeah, they're traveling really far. It's a 1 o'clock game for the Rams. So this means for them, they're playing at 10 o'clock in the morning? Is that how the math works out? Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be 10 in the morning.
Yeah, they're playing a
For
game
LA.
at 10 a.m., so it's a little bit early for them. I'm sure they're going to be a little bit, it's going to take them the first quarter. I wouldn't expect the Rams to come out hot. I would expect them to come out slow and sluggish because of this. That usually happens, and we forget about that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because of jet lag.
Yeah, because of jet lag and stuff like that. We've been saying that the New England Patriots and the Browns are both good teams for knocking potential playoff teams out of the playoff race. Ben, how do you feel about this game, the Patriots and the Rams?
Well,
know you're a Rams guy.
I don't think the Patriots are going to win this game, so I think the Rams.
You
I'm
think the
taking
Rams are going to take
Yeah.
this one?
Mhm.
Okay, I probably think the Rams are going to win this game too. I think that Matt Stafford does get pressured a lot, just like he did last week. Last week he had a real tough time throwing the ball. So I think that they do win. However, I think that he specifically doesn't have the best stats for this day. I think that it's
It's
easy.
through the running game more. I think it's more through the running game.
Yeah, it'll probably be more through the running game.
Kyrie Williams.
The Patriots.
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams, yeah. The Patriots got Barrymore back on their defensive line. Very good defensive player. So maybe there's some adjustments in their running defense, but run defense hasn't been the greatest. When we're looking at fantasy starters for the Patriots side of the football, I think Drake May is an okay bye week filler, or bench backup quarterback, you could probably put him there. He's better than a couple of the other options that are out there. I think Ramondre Stevenson's obviously a start as your flex or a fringe running back too. Outside of those two, Hunter Henry hasn't been doing the greatest the last couple of weeks, but he's still a backup tight end that you can keep on your bench, I think. But other than that, there isn't a lot going on the Patriots side of the football. People like that Kayshon Boutte. I'm not picking him up.
Yeah, no.
I'm not picking him up. He is getting targets. He's their deep guy, but I just don't like him. They also released Tyquan Thornton, their former second-round pick today. So he is out there and available. I wouldn't mind if the Steelers went and picked him up. He's really fast and really tall. Give him a chance.
Yeah,
Give him a chance on the practice
so he's
squad.
tall and fast, but the problem is he's terrible wide receiver.
Yeah, he can't catch. Yeah, he can't catch. That is an issue. On the Rams side of the football, like I said, I wouldn't play Matt Stafford. I would play Drake May over Matt Stafford personally. But I do like Kyron Williams. I do like Cooper Kupp, obviously. I do like Puka Nacua, obviously. Demarcus Robinson probably will sneak in with 7 fantasy points. So if you have to, if you're in a deep league and you need somebody, sure. But outside of that,
he's always that sneaky flex wide receiver.
You play against him and you're like, oh, that guy's playing Demarcus Robinson. I'm good. And then he puts up 25 points. And you're like, what? But yeah, we both got the Rams in this one. All right, the last 1 o'clock game, and now this is the game of games.
This is the game of the week.
This is the game of the week. This game should be played in a dark, dark alley.
Yes.
This is going to be a rumble. This is the Baltimore Ravens. They'll be heading up here to Pittsburgh, where it is nice and cold, how we like it for Pittsburgh football.
It ain't that cold yet.
It'll be cold tomorrow.
How cold?
Cold enough.
Like 50s? That's
Yeah,
not cold.
Maybe rain.
Well, okay, the rain kind of makes it suck.
That makes it suck. So in this game, guys, I more as the week is going on, I'm more thinking the Steelers can pull this one out and will lose the one in Baltimore and not this game. On Tuesday, I was talking that I thought that they might lose this one and win the last one just because that's Steelers fashion to do something like that. You know what I mean? To win it the opposite direction. Anyways, in this game, I think that Lamar Jackson underperforms his projection, but he is still obviously a start. He's the #1 fantasy football player. Derrick Henry is also going to have a decent day. I still just don't think that he has a booming day against the Steelers. I don't think either of those guys do. Zay Flowers, I would say, is a wide receiver 2 in this game. I don't think you play Deontay Johnson. I don't think you play Bateman. Mark Andrews is a start, obviously. I would put him back in tight end 1. Outside of that, though, do you see anybody on the Ravens that's worth any bit of an add, a look? Hill?
No, not when you name them all.
I sure did name every single one of them. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. This Red Bull's sure helping me.
Oh, my goodness.
On the other side, though, for the Steelers, looks like Jalen Warren got a back injury.
Yeah, he tweaked his back midweek.
Hopefully he plays. I mean, it'd be all right if he doesn't. We do have Cordero Patterson back.
Yeah. No, I think Steelers wise, we're gonna be fine.
Who do you think the starters are? Since I named every Raven who's ever existed.
So, I oddly enough wouldn't start Najee this week because the Ravens they're like a top 5 run defense. Okay. Their problem is their secondary.
Yeah, their secondary is bad.
Their secondary is the worst in the league.
Najee hates the Ravens, though.
I know. But I think he's going to do what he did similar to last week,
where he had
like 16 carries, 60-some yards, 70-some yards, maybe a touchdown.
Okay.
But I mean, that's playable, but like it's not like
he bumps down the flex running back 2.
Yeah.
Like fringe running back 2. You think he's more of your flex guy this week.
But who I love in this game, I absolutely love George Pickens.
Georgie. Yeah, I think George's gonna blow up in this game.
I think he's got a fire chance this
2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I think he's got a hell of a game. It's either between him. People have been talking about Pat Freiermuth having a huge day as well. But I would lean more towards George Pickens. Freiermuth is a nice
tight end 2,
filler tight end.
He had a touchdown last
for the week. Yeah. And then
what about
I
Williams?
think Mike Williams might even be a sneaky like fringe flex
play. Dude, for a bye week, I was gonna. If you didn't mention him, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, I like.
I know he had one catch.
I like Russell Wilson this week too. I think him. You know, him
I like
throwing
Russ
those
this week as well.
moon balls.
Mhm.
I like the Steelers in this one,
Dude,
man.
I like a lot of Steelers in this one. Yeah, I would say that you're kind of right. I think that just like Lamar and Derrick Henry, I think that Najee does have a little bit of a downtick in this game. Guys, historically, Steelers-Ravens games, 17-13, 17-14, 20-17.
This one, I think, is going to be a little bit more of a shootout.
That's what I was going to say. I think this one is more
This-
34
like
to
34-30
41.
or like 31-28, something like that.
I think this is going to be a big scoring game. Now, I would say that Fryermuth, you're right. Tight end too. I think that George Pickens is a top 5 wide receiver this week. And then, like you said, Mike Williams. I think you guys should be spotlighting him secretly.
Yeah.
If he's still out in your free agency and you're in a deeper league, I would take a look at him. Obviously, if you're in an 8-man league or a 10-man league,
No, you want to be in like 12-man and like
12
greater.
and higher. Williams is definitely a take a look at. Guys, now we're going to get into the 4 o'clock games, and it just keeps turning over with now we're getting into good football. This one is the 4-5 Seahawks taking on the 5-4 San Francisco 49ers. This will be in San Francisco. San Francisco gets CMC back. They have Kittle. He's going to play. Fantasy owners, don't worry about it. They've already mentioned it. The head coach has come out and said, couldn't talk there, has come out and said that he is going to play this week. You've got Debo. I think he's going to be a decent play. I think Jennings is a decent play. I think Pearsall is a decent play. I think that you could play any 49er this week, including Purdy, and that'll be all right.
I agree.
I don't think any of them is a bad play. On the opposite side of the football, you've got DK Metcalf back.
Yeah, he's back. JSN
Firing away.
I think he's wide receiver 1 up in Seattle now.
Yeah.
Like
I would say he's a wide receiver 2 in fantasy, but in actuality, he's wide
on the
receiver
depth chart,
1.
he's wide receiver 1 in Seattle.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Oh, producer Paul was sneezing. We thought he was yelling
I was
something.
like, what was that?
I was like, man, he's really mad.
Like, when do you get a dog?
Other than that, though, I think that for Seahawks, it's a decent list too, but not as big of one. I think you play DK wide receiver 2. I think you play JSN wide receiver 2.
I think you can play Walker in this one too.
I think I was gonna say Walker running back 2. Guys that are on fantasy rosters that I don't consider plays: Geno, Charbonnet, Tyler Lockett, and Noah Fant if he's not injured. I think he's injured. If he's not good, I'm glad you're healthy, Noah. But I wouldn't play any of those.
Yeah,
guys
no,
in this
I
game.
wouldn't either.
I also don't. I wouldn't play either defenses, guys. In that last game, the Ravens game, I would only consider the Steelers a play for defenses there. Next game, this one should be a good one too. To be honest, 4
This
o'clock,
one should be a
4
good
o'clock
one.
games have a lot more quality, it looks like, so far. This is going to be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Denver Broncos. This will be up in Mile High. I think in this game it's going to be extremely close. I think that Kirk Cousins gets a lot of fits from that Denver Broncos defense that has good pass rush, and they also were pretty good in coverage. Ben, I will take the Broncos side. And then I want to make one comment about the Atlanta side. But why don't you let me know who you would start on Atlanta, and I'll do the Broncos side of things, because I think that Bo Nix is a start. Our boy that we like in Lou hates, Cortland Sutton, is a start. I think Audric Estime is a flyer start for you this week. If you don't need to start him, at least add him to your bench. He could be the starting running back moving forward for the Broncos. I like that. Javonte Williams is not a start. Jaleel McLaughlin is not a start. And then my guy that I've been saying to take a look at, don't add him to your team, put him on your watch list, is Devon Villay. I like Devon Villay a little bit. I think he's going to mature into a good wide receiver. Broncos defense in this game, I would not consider a start. I do usually start them in one of my leagues. This week, I'm straying away from them. I think that the Atlanta Falcons can put up a lot of points. And before you go into the Falcons, I think that Patrick Surtain will be the one who covers Drake London in this game. And I don't think that Drake London is potentially a play in this specific game.
No.
Who do you got?
Excuse me. I like Kirko.
Okay.
I think Kirko's going to be okay. And I actually, since you just mentioned that, Darnell Mooney
To the moon.
is the better play.
Yes.
Because, I mean, the other guy, Riley Moss, for the other corner for Denver. He's good, but I think Mooney is just
Too fast.
I think he's too fast, too
Yeah.
shifty for Raleigh Moss.
I agree.
So I think Mooney has a big day. I think Kyle Pitts is like a tight end two
Yeah.
range.
I would say he's tight end too.
Bijan's play.
Bijan's a hard play.
Bijan's a hard
He's top
play.
5 running back
Yeah,
this
he's
week
a hard
for
play.
sure.
I wouldn't. I mean,
Tyler Algier.
Lou brought up Tyler Algier weeks ago, and I was like, no, dude. He had one good game, but like that's not going to be the norm because Bijan is just that guy.
14, 16-man leagues, sure.
Yeah.
You could have Tyler Algier. No, in a 12-man, 10-man.
Or even like dynasty leagues.
Or
like,
dynasty, yeah. But we're not playing Tyler Algier. How do you end up with needing to play Tyler Algier in your league right now?
Yeah, no,
You know?
It's just I wouldn't do it.
Who do you think wins this
not.
game?
I think Denver wins this game ultimately, though.
I'm going to agree with you. I think Denver wins this game. I think it's going to be close. I think that it might come down to a field goal at the end. I would say that you don't need to worry, though, if you're holding any Atlanta Falcons players. I still think they do good.
Well, I mean, and plus, like, Atlanta's coming up from Atlanta, from the South, where they play in a dome, up to Denver, like mile high, pretty much.
Right.
Just the difference in climate and just
It is very
I don't
different.
think Southern teams really fare well.
No. It is.
I don't think anyone really fares well
With
that.
massive travel.
With being up that high, the elevation.
Kickers.
Kickers.
Yeah, I would play Young Hoku in this game. I bet you has a comeback game. He missed 3 field goals last week, guys. I think if he gets the opportunity to, he's going to kick the crap out of the football.
Yeah.
Would you play Knicks or Cousins? Which one would you play if you had the option to play one or the other?
Knicks.
I would also play Knicks. I would also play
I mean,
Knicks.
I like Cousins in this one too, but like I would play Knicks.
I would play Knicks. I just think he throws the ball like freaking 60 times.
Yeah.
that's what it's been lately. So I would pick Knicks in this game if I was to pick between those two quarterbacks. Guys, next game is the last 4:00 game to start. This one starts at 4:25, and this might be the best one. But we already know one team has a little bit something extra on their side called the referees and a coin toss in overtime. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll be heading up to Buffalo, so at least Buffalo gets the home game in this one. Ben, what do you think about this one?
Oh man, I think it's gonna be a good one.
Okay.
Dude, like it's just. I want to pick the Bills. I want to pick the Bills so bad.
No, it's not going to happen.
I want to.
It will not
so
happen.
bad. But like it's just for whatever reason, the Chiefs they have some sort of I swear Taylor Swift is talking to some voodoo
Yeah, every coin toss.
voodoo
she's like,
person using black magic.
Haters
for the
gonna
Chiefs
hate,
to win
hate,
these
hate.
games and everything because like they won the game last week on a blocked field goal.
Yeah, dude.
Like, and like the amount of missed penalties that should have been called on the Chiefs for like I don't know false start, which is every game.
Or like, okay, so here's another thing on that too. The officiating crew for this game is the one who calls, who every time that they officiate a Chiefs game, the Chiefs win.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How ironic. How
Right,
weird.
how ironic,
How
yeah.
weird that that is being set up
But-
that way.
But despite of everything I just said, I still think the Bills can win this game.
You're going to take the Bills?
I'm gonna take the Bills
All right. Well,
because I want to take the Bills and I want the Chiefs to lose.
all right. He's putting that positive energy into the air. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, this game is going to end in overtime. The game will be 33-30 will be the final score with the Chiefs winning actually the Bills will win the toss, but the Chiefs will go down and kick a field goal and win the game with the rookie kicker that they just picked up off of the Jets practice squad. Shader is his name. I just know that that's what's going to happen already. I already know. The script's out. This is what's going to happen. I feel it. It's in my
Yeah.
bones. When we're talking fantasy players for this week, guys, I did have a bet for this game. This bet is crazy, but I'm going to tell it to you guys, and I made it.
Really? You made it?
I made this bet.
You made it?
I
You
am
didn't have
all
anyone else do it for you? You
all-
made it all on your own?
all by myself.
What a
So
good boy.
in this game, I took the Chiefs money line. I took Dawson Knox to have a touchdown. He will be playing full-time tight end this week.
Yeah,
with
Kincaid is out. He's out.
I have Kareem Hunt for a touchdown. I have Kelsey for a touchdown.
Wow.
And I got Hopkins for a touchdown.
Wow.
This is a high-scoring game.
Look at you.
Mm-hmm. It's plus 6,000, folks. If that bet hits, buying a house.
I'm buying a house in that.
In this game, guys, for fantasy purposes, I'm being crazy with my bet. I don't think Dawson Knox is potentially a start. Do you?
No, not at all.
I would start
Kincaid really wasn't like
either.
So like
no, exactly. I would say that your starters are pretty easy. Amari Cooper will be playing. I would go ahead and throw him back into the roster. Wide receiver 3 flex considerations for Amari. When we're looking at running backs, I think that both Kareem Hunt and
James Cook
are going to be plays. Pacheco should be back within the next 2 weeks. Get as much out of Kareem Hunt as you can for now. I know that's your case right now, man.
Yep.
You're squeezing everything,
Squeezing
every bit of life out of him.
every last point I can get out of him.
I think that Patrick Mahomes is a top 15 wide receiver this week, or quarterback. I'm falling apart. Quarterback this week. I don't consider him a top play. If you have him, you're obviously going to play him. The only people I would consider maybe playing over top of him, like a Knicks, I think will do better. I think Russ will do better. Josh Allen's going to do better. But
yeah. I mean, I like both quarterbacks in this game.
You like both of them in this game?
I like both of them to have a big day.
When it comes to wide receivers on the Chiefs, I do like DeAndre Hopkins in this game. I think he'll be all right. I don't really love Xavier Worthy or McCole Hardman. I do like Kelsey in this game as well. I think he's going to have a decent game. He's been streaming a lot recently up. He was doing pretty bad to start the season. He's had a couple pretty good games. Other than that, though, Keon Coleman's out. Probably Shakir's a decent play in this game, as much as it makes me want to throw up to say it. I imagine Shakir will end up with 6-7 catches and 65 yards, maybe a touchdown in this game. You know it.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's been his stat line the entire year.
Mm-hmm. So that's who we got in this one. He's got the Bills. I got the Chiefs to go 10-0. Unfortunately, I don't want them to, but I think they will. Now the next game. This is Sunday Night Football, Ben, and this is a good game.
This is going to be a good one.
I think this is a good game. This is going to be Cincinnati fighting for a playoff spot, fighting to stay in a playoff contention. They'll be heading down to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Chargers, great defense. They've been playing good football, turnover-free football, mistake-free football. I like the Chargers. I like Harbaugh. I like what he's been doing there. He's not going to win this game, no. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to tear up the Chargers in this game, and I think that is because both T. Higgins and Chase are back in this game. I think that they are going to throw the football built for 1 billion yards. When we're looking at Bengals starters, I would say Joe Burrow's top 3 quarterback this week. Jamar Chase, wide receiver 1 this week. Yeah. I would consider Higgins a 2, maybe 3 wide receiver 2 or 3. And then Chase Brown. I would consider him a running back 2 in this game. I don't think he has the best game. He might actually be more a fringe running back 2 flex player because the Los Angeles Chargers defense is really good. Opposite side of the football, this one, it's pretty slim. I would say that you could start Herbert. Herbert's been having some pretty good weeks. He's going to put up about 17 points in this game, maybe 21, somewhere in there. I think that Dobbins is an okay start. I know that Gus Edwards has been eating into his carries, but that's going to be fine. I think that Dobbins is still an okay play in this game. Wide receivers, QJ and McConkey.
That's about it.
McConkey.
That's about it.
Was anybody else in the Chargers? Maybe their defense? No, I think their defense gets run through in this game.
I think their defense is going to play.
Right? I don't think Gesicki, would you play him? I think he's fringe roster spot.
No, because he hasn't.
He had that one good game.
He had that one good game.
100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. That was the only good one. Anything else in this game? Who are you taking?
Will Disley maybe.
Will Disley, okay, yeah. Will Disley is
Disley.
a streaming tight end. People have been picking him
Yeah.
up. He's been getting a lot of dump down catches. You are correct. Who you taking?
I want to take the Chargers, so I'm going to take the Chargers.
All right, I'm gonna take the opposite. We've been opposite a little bit today.
Yeah, well,
Not
I
a
hate the
ton,
Bengals,
but
so.
I know you hate the Bengals. I got a lot of Bengals on my fantasy team, so I have to
hate
like
the
them.
Bengals.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals in this game, guys. I think they keep their playoff hopes alive. I think they end up 5-6 after this game. Chargers will be 6-5. They'll be fighting each other for a spot come the end of the season. Last game of the week that we wanted to cover. This is the battle for Texas, and I think that one team has guns and the other one has
Toy
sticks.
guns.
Yeah, they have wooden sticks. This is going to be obviously the Texans and the Cowboys. This game will be in Jerry World, so this is going to be Dallas hosting. I don't like anybody on the Cowboys. You traded CeeDee Lamb for Brock Bowers this week.
I did.
You got rid of him. You said, "Get out of
I
here,
know.
buddy."
I was like, I'm done. I don't
Yeah.
like.
I
He didn't
just-
produce like that well, even with Dak. So like, not like the way he was
You
projected.
were,
to.
yeah, projecting it to. Yeah, for sure. I would say in this game, guys, for Dallas, Rico's probably my number one person on the Dallas side of the football that I would consider the starter. He was named the absolute starting back by the head coach this week, McCarthy. He said, moving forward, it's Rico's job.
Oh yeah, because Zeke is awful
Sucks.
now.
Yeah, he's terrible. So yeah, CeeDee Lamb, he moves down for me to flex, barely wide receiver two.
He's like, yeah,
I
because
wide
it's
receiver
just-
two.
I don't know.
Max.
It's just Cooper Rush
Mm-mm.
isn't very good,
Mm-mm.
and then Trey Lance is even worse than him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Derek Stingley is a pretty good cornerback covering him all game too.
yeah, so I don't like
Yeah, I don't like CeeDee Lamb.
I don't
in
like
this game.
CeeDee Lamb going forward.
Ferguson, I would not. There's a lot of bye weeks this week. Like if you're a guy who has Cade Otton, I would play Jake Ferguson while Cade Otton's out. Yes, but if you have Jake Ferguson as your number one tight end at this point in time, I don't love him. He's still okay because of the whole dump down factor.
Yeah,
Cooper Rush only had 45 passing yards last game, folks. So
yeah, I
I
dropped
mean,
Ferguson last week.
I would not consider any of these Dallas Cowboys plays. Opposite side of the football, Lou obviously tried to stand behind Joe Mixon last week, even though he did horribly statistically, but great fantasy.
Yeah,
I think that when we are talking about plays for the Texans, I think that Joe Mixon is obviously a play. I don't think that C.J. Stroud has the greatest game in the world again because Dallas does have everybody on defense at this point in time. Everyone's playing.
yeah. I haven't loved Stroud at all this year.
No,
He's
sophomore
I
slumping
think
hard.
He's
dude.
only gone over 20 points once,
Really?
fantasy wise. Yeah,
Wow, I did not know that. Yeah, so for this game, I would say Dell Flex is a flex fringe bench player.
did he get Nico back this week?
They are getting Nico back, and I'm going to say Nico is probably a wide receiver 2. I wouldn't put him at 1 yet, just because it's his first game back. I'm a little bit worried. Guy needs to knock some rust off. Same thing with CMC last week. He was a little slow to
I
start.
mean, but Nico is Stroud's favorite target.
He is.
So, like-
he is. He is. We'll see in this game. Wide receiver 2 is not a bad ranking for your first game back in 8 games, though.
Yeah, no, I just
Yeah, you haven't played in 8 games. We're still giving you a high ranking.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, so in this game, I would rather have Dalton Schultz than I would Jake Ferguson. But I would say that your
Yeah, same.
definite players are Mixon and Nico Collins. If you have to because of bye weeks, Tank Dell, but he's just not consistent, so I don't love him. Stroud,
QB2.
QB2. Other than that, anybody else in this game? Would you play the Texans defense in this game? I would. I would play the Texans.
I would.
Texans
yeah.
defense is
Texans
probably
defense I
the
would
best
play.
flyer defense.
I think Cowboys defense is a decent play too.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a hot take.
I know.
There. That-
Well, Stroud is struggling this year.
He is struggling, but
and they have everybody back now
they
on
do.
defense, right?
Yeah, they do.
I think besides the other edge rusher,
Bland?
No, Lawrence.
Oh yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's back, but I do
don't know.
remember that he was out. It was him and Micah Parsons out
Yeah, but
simultaneously.
they got Parsons, Bland back, and
Bland. They got Overshown. They have
Diggs is back.
Yeah, dude, they have a great defense.
So-
A lot of big names. We'll see in this one. At least it's going to be fun. This Monday Night Football game, as much as it might not matter much for the Cowboys to win, it'll be fun to watch. Anything else that you wanted to cover from this week, Ben, that you see coming up that you want anyone to take note of? Any bets that you had or anything like
No,
that?
I don't have anything like that.
Okay.
We
All right.
got everything.
Yeah, I
pretty
think
much for each
I
game.
think we covered just about everything.
I mean, going back to the Steelers game though, I love this game.
Dude,
I
it's gonna
think
be
the
so
Steelers-
good.
I think the Steelers are gonna put the stamp that hey, we're here to win the AFC North.
You think they
know,
win this
outright.
game? Power rank number 2 afterwards, the second best team in the AFC. It would go in the NFL. Then it would go probably
It would go, yeah.
Lions, Chiefs, Steelers, Eagles.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah?
They'd be in top 5 for sure.
What if the Steelers win and the Bills win? Do the Chiefs get knocked below the Steelers?
Then the top 5 teams would all be AFC teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. It's a little bit of a hot take.
The
but we'll
Lions,
see how it works out.
Lions dropped a little bit for me because of Goff
And
last
his
week.
5 interceptions.
Yeah. And the week, I think it was a week before, a couple weeks ago, he only threw for 84 yards.
Yeah, but they won by like 40 points.
I understood. Yeah, again, but that was what the Titans too.
Yeah.
I think they had an interception return for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But like at quarterback, I think I like Russell Wilson better than I like Jared Goff.
I do.
You know?
Give me your top 5 quarterbacks for this week. Who do you think the top 5 are?
Oh, top 5. Top 5 quarterbacks. Top 5.
I'll give you
So I'm
mine
gonna
while
go-
you. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Josh Allen.
Okay.
Not in any particular order.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Josh Allen. Brock Purdy.
Yes. Lamar.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't believe Lamar does that. Jordan Love.
Okay.
Tua.
You think Jalen Hurts has it?
And
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, I was gonna say Joe Burrow.
Those are gonna be my top 5 for the week, non particular order.
All right, so you got. And I'm gonna run them back just because we said I'm a little slow. We got Bo Nix. We got Joe Burrow. We got Josh Allen. We got Jordan Love, and who was the last one? Russell Wilson.
No, did I say Purdy?
Purdy. You
Yeah.
did say Purdy.
Yeah, I said
Sorry,
Purdy.
that is correct.
I didn't say Wilson.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't think I got anything else for the podcast for this episode. Want to thank everybody who tuned in for the episode on YouTube, and if you're listening on Spotify, we really appreciate it. At this point in time, guys, I am going to move forward into the Q&A section. We'll be back in just 2 minutes here. We'll have producer Paul take us out and bring us back in. So we'll see you guys in a couple seconds. Stick around for the Q&A. Have your questions ready. We can't wait to hang out with you guys for a little bit, okay?